Hi Vidya, so lovely to talk to you, especially about Sherni, because for a lot of Bollywood fans like me and for the Bollywood film industry, you really are a Sherni of an actor. Anyway, and there's been some amazing reviews coming through about the film so far, including a lovely comment from Katrina Kaif. How do you take to those kind of reviews and those kind of compliments?
It's really been an overwhelmingly positive response, and I didn't know what to expect, honestly, because I was well aware that Sherni is not a run-of-the-mill film. So mentally, I was telling myself that people may not watch it on the very first day, and it's on an OTT platform, so they might take time to watch it. Just hold your horses, keep calm, and all of that. So it's really been it's taken me by surprise, and I'm so grateful, for this outpouring of love, whether it's the critics or audiences. My phone is full of messages that I still haven't been able to respond to, but it feels fantastic. My team and I are so thrilled. Um, this is really wonderful, to say the least.
You're really setting a benchmark, I think, in Bollywood for female actors. I mean, didn't the makers say that when they, wrote this script and they were looking for the casting, they only had you in mind?
Yeah.
And such scripts are very far and few for women. So how does that make you feel that, you're sort of being put there as leading the way in terms of changing how we see female actors in Bollywood?
It wasn't a conscious attempt. It's played out like this, and I'm not complaining. I'm more than happy. But yes, it is very gratifying to know that people write scripts with me in mind, that they have faith, that I will be up for any sort of challenge, and that actually fuels me.
Wonderful. I mean, and you've got to obviously be able to carry such scripts off. So for them to feel that you can. I mean, when the trailer first came out, I watched it, and I've watched all of your films, and I've always been used to seeing you play these very fierce characters with these very strong dialogues, and this very strong female in the films. But then I watched this scene on the trailer, and it's where you're going to. I mean, obviously I've seen the film now, but your mother-in-law says to you, "You're looking very dull. Why don't you go and wear my 9-carat gold necklace?" And your response is very sort of subservient to her. And I just thought, that's not the character that I'm used to seeing you play all the time. Obviously, I've seen the film now, so it all, falls into place. But it must have been hard for you as well to play it down, not being able to have that, face response back.
Yes, that was tough because, Vidya Vincent, the character I've played in Sherni, is very non-confrontational.
Yes.
She can come across as passive most of the time, but I think she proves that she's far from passive by being a doer. But she is one of those silent doers. She doesn't like to draw attention to herself, but she is. It was tough for me because she's so non-reactive, and I'm the absolute opposite. I have a reaction to everything, but I think that's what's exciting for me as an actor, to be able to play different kinds of people, not just characters that are close to me in personality. And I think I discovered in this film that you don't have to be aggressive to be strong. Vidya Vincent is a very strong woman, strong-willed, and she's a woman of great integrity. But she's a woman of few words, and she doesn't care about impressing you, or she'll do exactly what she wants to do. That takes a lot of courage, to just be able to stand your ground and be yourself.
Yeah, and it's very clever because obviously the writers have called it Sherni, which normally relates to a tigress, roaring, loud sound, but your character's sort of the opposite. So that's quite clever. I thought it was very, very well done in that sense. One of the other things I noticed in the film was obviously there's a lot of patriarchal moments in that film, which obviously are captured very well. But in life, and for a lot of actors, you are sort of a female role model. In this film, your character doesn't have any female role models. How important do you think that is in today's society? And can we get to see more of those kind of things in films going forward?
I think there are enough and more role models all around us. It just depends on whether we're open to seeing them as that, because uh, these days, especially, I think only famous people are seen as having the possibility of being role models. But I don't think that's true. My sister has been a role model for me all along. She's in advertising and she has nothing to do with celebrity dump. But, she's a role model for me nonetheless. I think that's what's important, to see and to be able to appreciate strength in women of all kinds around us, to realize that wherever we are today, it's because of the work of all the women before us. And not everyone was in the public domain, or not everyone was, known. Or I think what's important is that to recognize that everyone goes through some sort of struggle to assert themselves, to find their voice, to just be themselves and realize their dreams. And sometimes they've had to sacrifice their dreams so that their children or their grandchildren would not have to sacrifice them. Or rather, they sacrificed their dreams but made sure that their children and their grandchildren didn't have to do the same. So I think there are enough and more role models. There is no dearth of role models. But if you're only looking for them in public personalities, I think we're looking in the wrong place.
Wow, very powerful indeed. You're working with the director who made Newton for the first time, and obviously he's made a phenomenal film before and obviously now as well. What was it like working with him, working with Amit?
It was a very unusual experience because he does not use any of the familiar or convenient tropes, whether in the telling or in his approach to performances. So there were times that I struggled because one, the character was very internal, and secondly, he likes things to be absolutely shorn of any sort of drama, because he likes to keep it very realistic. So it was an unusual experience. His worldview is refreshingly different, which shows in his choice of subjects, in the telling of his stories, and in everything per se, which is why I think people are reacting the way they are to the film. So it was really a unique experience working with him. And I don't want to qualify that unique with any other adjectives, because it was really like no other experience I've had before.
Wow, that's brilliant. Now, you've been asking your fans on your social media to share their Sherni moments. Do you have any that you could share with us?
Oh, loads. Absolutely. I think I'm sure all of us have loads because there's a Sherni in each one of us. Or each one of us is a Sherni. But, I feel that when someone puts me down, the Sherni within me wakes up from her deep slumber. So I think that gives me an impetus and a motivation to prove them wrong, even if it's subconsciously and I realize it only later. But I remember in my initial years, people telling me that, but you're not from the film industry. You don't have a godfather. How are you ever going to make it? And you're not even, they wouldn't say it in so many words, but the things they said added up to this. And every time someone said something like that, or sometimes directly cast aspersions on my abilities, then, that, and the Sherni was never vociferous about being put down, or did not have a vociferous reaction to it. I would just simmer within, but that would give me that added josh to go ahead and realize my dream and to live it. So I
That's
think,
won-
yeah.
that's
Would that
wonderful.
qualify as Sherni moment?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us. It's been our absolute pleasure, and thank you for
Thanks,
giving us a
Fatima.
brilliant film.